Welcome back. Have I mentioned lately just how crazy it is that we grade kids who are 17, 18 years of age and try to project what they're going to be when they're 25, 26? Yeah. And with defense, that can be even trickier. So I've got Justin Barron today, another defenseman, 6'2", 187 pounds. So another defenseman that is already there. 6'2", 187. You go, yep. So he's got the size. It's about developing the other parts of his game. He's ranked 46th on Hockey Prospects, 71st on Elite Prospects. So they're both soured on him, but ISS Hockey has him at 23rd. Central Scouting has him at 16th among North American skaters. Bob McKenzie has him at 25th. So we'll see where he falls. And I'm wearing an Avalanche jersey because, defensemen, they're able to take the odd defenseman here and there and polish them into something a little bit better. And we'll see where he ends up. His strengths are speed and puck handling, and his skating is great. The skating from this kid is apparently really, really good. Every report is about his skating. Plays for Halifax this year and last year. Last year, 68 games played, 9 goals, 32 assists, 41 points. This year, he only played 34 games, had 5 goals, 14 assists, 19 points again for the Mooseheads. Now, he missed nearly 3 months with a blood clot. So that's why he only played the 34 games this year. He did come back from that blood clot and played 7 games before the shutdown took place in March. So he missed a lot of time. Did that affect his development? I don't think so, not from what I'm reading from the reports, but we'll see. And again, it all comes down to his skating. Very good skater. That's not a problem. He needs to work on his reactions under pressure. The idea of look around the ice, see your exits, see your passing lanes and your options. Don't throw the puck away kind of thing. We've seen defensemen in the NHL that do that. So they don't usually last very long, but we've seen NHL do that. And so he needs to work on that kind of thing. He needs to work on using the body a little bit more, being more of a thorn in the side of opponents, using that 6'2" frame to his advantage. He has two-way ability, but according to Hockey Prospect anyways, he's not likely going to be a top 4 defenseman in the NHL. He's probably going to be third pairing. So, again, that means there's a divergence of opinion here in that McKenzie has him in the lower first round and Hockey Prospect says about the middle of the second round. Right? So it is kind of all over the place. And again, he already has the NHL level size. That part's already done. He's already basically filled out at 187. I don't know the muscle mass and all that. I don't get into that stuff, but because I know scouts do and GMs do and all that. But he already has projectable NHL size, so you can teach the physical aspect. You can teach the better decision making. You can get through and do that. And so again, it's going to be about the development. It's going to be about the coaching, and it's going to be about finding his strengths, playing to that. And if he has some defensive weak spots, but you can get the offense there, then you just pair him with a better defensive defenseman and you go from there. What did the scouts have to say? Some interesting things with the scouts on this one, in that there were 2 different scouts that positively compared him to Jared McIsaac. Jared McIsaac last year in the draft was certainly talked about. Ends up going a little bit later than I thought he might. This scout says he's better than Jared McIsaac at the same age. Sort of like how I was talking about Johannesson the other day, and that he was better than Boquist at the same age. And people immediately go, well, that's because he's an overager. Okay, they're saying at the same age. They know he's an overager. They're professional scouts. Anyways, and not only that, but drafting overagers, that could be really, really smart. And that's something I think is really interesting when you get that negative stigma for having passed through the draft once, where people go, well, who cares about that guy? He's in his second draft year eligibility. Right, because nobody who's ever become a Hall of Famer has been a free agent undrafted. And then we look back later and go, those scouts are idiots. They didn't draft him. So, with Justin Barron, which scout is going to be right on this kid and which one's going to be wrong? Coming back to the Johannesson discussion, where it is really difficult with defensemen. It's much more difficult with defensemen, I think, than with forwards. It is, of course, equally difficult with goaltenders, if not more difficult with goaltenders. Another scout says like his size and skating, but not crazy about much else. Well, if you like his size and skating, and you think you can develop some of the other stuff, then you probably pick him. This is why I think he probably does end up going in the second round. Another scout, big kid who skates really well, but he's not hard to play against at all. And the idea is he needs to be a real pain to play against. If you're going to be an offensive defenseman, you're going to be a power play point guy, great. He doesn't really have that acumen yet in his game. So if you're not going to be that, then you need to be able to play that defensive side of the game, and that's where he needs to work on his reactions under pressure comes into it. So again, unpolished, absolutely. Defenseman, yeah. 18 years of age, also yes. And so it is that unenviable task, because he could end up being a solid NHL player, and it's going to be up to a general manager to get him there. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, as always, regarding Justin Barron, if you've watched him in Halifax, what you think his upside is, that other kind of wonderful stuff. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.